This is a Full Circle Podcast Show production.
Oh my God, LJ, we have a show.
I know, right? We have a show that's going to be about everything. We're going to be talking about life, love, relationships. We're going to be talking about people that should stop line dancing. We're going to be talking about ugly babies, bad customer service. We're going to be talking about any and everything on this show.
So they're going to let us do this all the time?
All the time.
Oh my gosh.
Because we're awesome.
Well, I guess we should do it then.
Yes, we should.
Hey everybody, it's T.aM with Tina and LJ. Let's go. Oh, should we talk? Okay, so LJ, oh my gosh, we have a show, and I'm not even sure how it happened. I'm really glad that it did, and sorry for all the procrastination. I'm glad we didn't hate each other in the process and splitting up and had to make it one on instead of two on, because I love the name. So for those of you who are just tuning in, my name is actually Tina. We live in Ohio. And then LJ is my co-host. He can tell you all about himself. I don't have a professional broadcasting career or anything. I'm just someone who, enjoys talking to people and meeting people and just running my mouth. And it could be about something. It could be about nothing. But I love to talk. So I also love to listen. So while we're in the process of just bringing you information about us and things that we're involved in, I love to hear from you about things that you guys are involved in or would like to hear us tell you more about, or things you'd like to share that we can elaborate on. We all know that the world is full of experiences, and that's what brings people together. So it'd be great to get to know you guys as listeners, and you know where to find us. We'll be on Instagram, we'll be on Facebook, we'll have a webpage. It's going to be fabulous, and I'm really glad we're here today. And LJ, it's your turn. I'm going to give you a chance to speak.
Thank you. I definitely
You're
appreciate
welcome.
that because I know it won't come often.
Oh my gosh, rude.
LJ, I just want to say that I'm excited about doing this podcast with Tina. It is a long time coming. This is something that we've discussed several times over the past maybe year and a half, maybe 2 years. So I'm definitely looking forward to this great opportunity. Tina and I have been on the air several times before with several different broadcasts, and we always have had a certain type of chemistry that kind of stood out.
Not that kind.
Yeah, not that kind. That's what she said.
Every kind except one kind.
It's that kind, trust me.
We work
very well together. We communicate and converse very well together. So you're definitely going to enjoy what you hear. Like she said, a lot of things going on in the world, and we're going to talk about those things, and we're going to talk about them from a perspective that, you'll enjoy. Trust me, you will, especially when I'm speaking.
And the funny thing about it is, we can both talk. I think LJ could probably sing, and I know I can sing, but I'm not interested in singing our show theme. So if you have one, if you're a musician, you're trying to get on, I might even let you,
we should do a theme song contest.
Right. I'm thinking we should do that.
That'd be great. We should do that. We're doing a theme song contest.
Yeah, we just thought of that.
This is impromptu. So if you would come up with a jingle or some type of theme song, if you sing, if you play the guitar.
The bongo.
The bongo.
The didgeridoo.
I don't even know what that is.
It's
the
Australian.
The xylophone, whatever it is that you play, come up with a theme song for us. And we'll compensate you handsomely.
No, we'll actually just mention your name a couple times. We ain't paying nobody.
Right,
we ain't getting
paid. We'll get you compensated. Let me say it like that. We'll get you connected with some people that'll pay you some money for your jingles.
And I bake a mean cake, so you get a cake and you get a couple mentions. And you didn't have that before. So,
and Tina will share her cake with you.
And you get the exposure of having your song played at the beginning of the show.
If you know what I mean about cake.
So I really, so I have to tell you guys that the show almost didn't happen today, even though we've been procrastinating. We finally decided on a date, right? So then we decide on this date, and I get the weather forecast from a coworker who's, because they always exaggerate. And coworkers, if you're listening, it's not you coworkers, it's the coworkers at my other job. Okay, so I'm not talking about you guys. But anyway, they were talking about, oh my God, blizzard, oh my gosh. And I said, show me this blizzard, okay? And so it was going to be 12 inches of snow in our town, and a holiday weekend. And it was going to come Friday night, Saturday morning, and it was just going to be 100 inches, like Snowmageddon. Okay, so everybody's so I text Lonnie, and I'm like, Big D, our producer, I text him, and I say, okay, dude, so snow and me, no, because there's no quick way for me to get to the studio to record, and I don't like things complicated. So I already don't like driving. I don't like driving through snow. And he's like, okay, cancel. So I tell Lonnie, and Lonnie sends me a picture of the sun and the moon and the stars, where does snow at?
I sent you a picture of what's actually happening outside right now.
And I was like,
and you said, I don't care what you say. And that was just pretty much it. So it was Come on,
That
lady.
happened.
There's
That's
not
true.
going to be a snowmageddon. There's
That's
not going to
true.
be a level 3.
That is
This is
true.
the forecast. I'm sending this to you. I'm
That
showing
is
you what it
true.
is.
It
And
is all
she
true.
blatantly told me,
Yes, it's true.
I don't care what you say.
Right, I did. Which is basically how we operate.
I'm not committing to beep. That's what she said.
So, of course, I'm thinking, yeah, we need to cancel. Daryl says, yeah, I heard it's going to be crazy. I was like, okay, well, 2 against 1, we canceling this BIBIA. So, of course, if you know there's going to be like crazy 3-day weekend and snow, then everybody has to go grocery shopping, right? So I was smart. I did mine early, got it done. I was like, I can't be in the house with kids like, fighting over sugar bread sandwiches. We got to have food. So I got some. But what is with the people that need to buy like 17 loaves of bread when you know it's only going to be 1 day of snow and you have a car and you live in like America? So the snow is going to get plowed. Why is it you guys panic like that? It's not that serious. It takes me, a family of 5, to eat a whole loaf of bread a week, okay? So you don't need 17 loaves of bread for 2 days. So I'm going to need you guys to stop just cleaning stuff out. And then the second thing is going to need you to know how to drive when a little bit of rain starts prior to the snowstorm, okay? Because it's the same rain you've been driving in Ohio for all your life. So I'm just going to need you to remember that you drive kind of slow and you actually push the brakes ahead of time that you want to actually stop, okay? Give yourselves time. Okay, yeah, so that happened. And
But
weather.
I mean, we live in a city that induces panic a lot in people. So that's why you see people going out and buying everything, buying every case of water, buying every loaf of bread, and then not knowing how to drive. And then there's so many accidents and so many things that take place every year when the forecast calls for 2 or 3 inches of snow.
Now watch these
People
ninjas
just
be-
act. People don't know how to act.
They're gonna be trying to take that bread back to the store. So Meyer, Kroger, y'all want to sponsor our show, y'all can do that. I ain't gonna say y'all name no more, but they ain't taking y'all bread back. Y'all try to take it back, okay?
And when
This
you-
week, don't just keep the bread, freeze it, because you're not getting your money back. I'm sorry you thought you needed 17 loaves of bread, but
When
you
you
didn't.
when you said in your family of 5 a loaf of bread can last a week.
Maybe.
That astonishes me because in my family of 2, me and my son or my son and I, a loaf of bread may last 2 days. And that's one of the things, and we'll be discussing this in the future, about my son that just kind of irks me or gets on my nerves. I mean, there's things that all of our kids do that we just don't like. It makes us not like our child.
Yeah, at least
we
5
may
out of
love
7
them
days.
all the time.
Right,
but
you
we
love
don't
them
like
underneath
them
it
all the
all.
time.
Underneath
and
it all.
a lot of parents won't say that, but there are just some times when I just don't like my son. And some of those times is when he eats up everything. So I
Yes.
told him, don't eat the last of anything because you don't buy anything. You know,
Yeah.
just have the courtesy of saving that for me because I purchased it. But of course he doesn't, and he still eats it anyway. So a loaf of bread, we had waffles, we had all kinds of stuff, and it's just gone. And I woke up this morning and I wanted some breakfast before I came in here, and there was just nothing there that I wanted to eat
That's
because
the
he had
worst.
already eaten it because he was out of school for 2 or 3 days this week. So he just decided to lounge and just eat. And that's one of the things about my son that I don't like. And I'm sure that's one of the things about your children you don't
Yeah,
like.
it
I have to
really
wake up at
is.
4:30 in the morning to get ready for work. And it's a level 3 outside. And I'm looking at him all comfy, cozy in his bed, sleeping.
Ingrate.
Right. While I'm having to
Dozing.
go to work. That just makes me upset to
He
see
could have got
him.
up, made you some eggs,
Right.
something.
Go
put some
start
toast
my
down.
car. Do something
Shovel.
for your father. Do something.
Right.
But that's just one of the things we'll be talking about in the future because I'm sure there are a lot of parents out there that just don't want to admit that sometimes you just don't like your kids.
And what is it about like being home from school? They want to eat like every hour on the hour when you know,
Right.
as like okay, so my son has what? They have like a snack in the morning because he's in 4th grade. And then like I pack his lunch. Like, his lunch is nothing is healthy in that lunch. Nothing is everything he wants, but ain't nothing healthy. So I put like, 6 things in there. Bring home the lunch is 5 things left. I'm like, okay, but when you at home, okay, so did you eat lunch? What happened here? Like, why is it at school you eat like half a fruit roll up and you're good? And then like when you're off school at home, you want to eat every hour and an hour. And it's stuff that I got to actually put together and get ingredients down from the cabinet. Like what? But a fruit roll up satiates this boy like all day at school. I don't even understand it. So yeah, kids be getting on your
They
nerves.
eat out of boredom.
Yeah, but anyway, my point about the whole weather thing was we do have the show. The show is happening today, so applause. I don't think we have an applause reel, but we do
we'll
right
get
now.
one.
So we're here, and I'm really happy we were able to secure the time and get it back because as soon as I realized there was no snow, I was like, hey, Big D, So Sunday at noon still open, and he was like, yeah, girl, come on. So yeah, we're here. So yay, everybody, we're here. And the other thing is that it's Sunday, so it's the day before a 3-day weekend. So the holiday is tomorrow, Martin Luther King Day. And I know that people plan stuff, they go out of town, they do all that. What
Nobody
are you doing?
does that
You
for
do-
Martin Luther
they
King
don't,
Day.
They don't.
Nobody-
They don't take advantage of a 3-day
Nobody
weekend.
plans anything for Martin Luther King Day outside of maybe the event that always takes place at the University of Toledo, the MLK event. But
Yeah,
other
that's
than that, nobody, I've never in my history of life ever planned anything with anybody for Martin Luther King Day. Now, you might have a long weekend,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
you'll make those plans because you have that extra day,
Right.
but you're not doing it specifically for MLK Day. Like, you're not traveling to, where he was born or where he was assassinated, or you're not learning his history, and you're not spending that time with your family.
Or you're not putting on a fake mustache
Right.
and
You're
being
not,
like,
right.
yes,
you're
Martin
not,
Luther King.
you're not watching documentaries. You're not... you're not empowering black people, but cheating with white women.
Okay, this is a different show. It
But,
just turned
hey, I'll
into
just put it
something.
out there.
I don't
Whatever.
even know if that's a topic.
Yeah,
What
it's
is
a
it?
topic. Trust me. But
Segue into something?
you're not doing those things
Who's
that
mad?
MLK did. I'm not upset
Okay.
about it. I'm just saying the history
Yeah, you're right.
of it.
So you're saying
you're
that
not
it's
doing
not
any
like-
of those things, and you're not celebrating any of those things, and you're not talking about any of those things as it relates to MLK.
So you're saying it's not like Memorial Day where you plan to not even be here
Right.
a long time before.
Right, and Memorial Day and Veterans Day and all of those things, you actually celebrate the troops, which we should, and you just do a lot of things. But for MLK Day, unfortunately, a lot of people just take advantage of the day off, whether it be students, whether it be, people on their job, whatever the case may be. And, whatever you do, that's fine. You get an extra day, but nobody's making like plans centered around Martin Luther King Jr.
Yeah, okay, you're right. And I wasn't going to take the day off, but I ended up taking the day off because my daughter's a competitive dancer. And look, I thought I was going to be chilling and at work, they'd be home, I'd be at work. It's like my escape. Because some people want to stay home when they're getting there. I'm like,
don't.
look, snitches, I've been with y'all for 2 weeks plus an extra day because it snowed. I don't really think we need any more time together. So I was actually planning to be at work, and then she got a schedule and she don't drive. So they were like, we're going to have practice at 11 and just sleep over at 4. And I'm like, well, shoot, I might as well stay home because I got to drive all over the universe. So yeah, I'm off tomorrow, but not because it's Martin Luther King Day. It's because they thought they should take advantage of the fact that it is, and they planned stuff.
Exactly.
I was just going to be chilling if I was taking a day off. I wouldn't be taking a day off to be busy. So yeah, you're right. I wouldn't be doing anything on this day otherwise. But yeah, I'm not working, not because I'm black and I thought I deserved it, but just because my child can't drive. And it'd be horrible if I made her walk 2 miles back and forth 3 times. So
I would only stay home to guard my food.
yeah, I mean,
That's
you
pretty much it.
got a unique problem. I
Right.
don't know. So does he cook? Like,
I mean, he'll cook sometimes, but it's just, it's just one of those things, and like I said, we'll discuss it more in the near future.
Right.
But it's just one of those things, and it really just kind of bothers me, and it irks me, among other things that irk me, not just specifically about my child, but
Right.
just about whatever.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we'll discuss it, but that's the only reason why I would stay home, was to just
Okay.
guard my refrigerator.
Right. Oh, but then the other thing is, so, I got to pick her up, and she complains about going to these places and having to be, do all this stuff. But then when I go pick her up, why is she the last person out the building? I'm like, you
God.
said
That's another
2:30,
thing. That's another
and
thing.
I've been here crushing candy, ran out of lives. It is 3:00, and where are you at? Like, everybody else is coming out with their backpacks, waving at their mom and dad, and doing the princess wave. And I'm like, is my child even in there? Like, did she not go? Like,
Did
did
you
she
ever have
lie
to
and
make
say she was in there?
make that call?
I make the call.
Like, where
It
are
goes
you?
to voicemail. But the thing is, one time she called me from the dance studio talking about, do you have 13 cents because I'm under for my smoothie? I was like, you better ask somebody at the studio for 13 cents or they need to give it to you because I paid this much a month. I mean, honestly, okay, so that's another story altogether, paying for folks, kids to do stuff because
Right.
they'd always complaining about going. Okay, that's another show. But yeah, I need her to come up out of there tomorrow promptly at
I don't
2:30.
know
Like, I
why-
need that. I need that. I'm sending it out to the universe.
I don't know why it's always seemingly your child.
It's always my
that's
child.
the last.
Yes, why?
And that happens to me. My son has a job. He works from 5 to 10.
Oh, yeah.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
Now I go
Allegedly.
Out, right. Allegedly, I go out to pick him up from his job. Everybody's coming out.
Everybody. Even the Boston
Right.
left.
Everybody's coming out except my child. It's 10:30, and like I
Yeah.
said, I have to get up at 4:30 a.m. So I go to bed kind of early sometimes. And so I'm waiting for him. I'm calling. And he loads and unloads truck as his job right now. And so I'm like, where are you? Well, I have to finish this job. I'm looking at everybody coming out like, so everybody got done but you? So either you super lazy or you trying to make that extra $5 for that extra 30 minutes that you're staying over.
But you ran out of gas twice.
Right, not taking into
Wait, no, I really
consideration
come out.
that I'm sitting out here waiting for you. Like
Man,
you just
they don't care.
They don't care
They
at
don't
all.
care.
And speaking on that, it's him working. When he gets money, I make him save money, for things in the future. You got college and stuff coming up. You're going to need some cash.
Just your
So-
next meal, because they're going to want Chick-fil-A when you cook.
Right.
But
So,
anyway, go ahead.
This is another thing. He texted me and said, hey, do you have that? Because it was $200. This is when he first started saving money. He said, hey, do you have that $200? I'm going to need it. I got plans this weekend. And I'm like, what plans? He texted me that
Oh,
on
God.
he texted me that on my job, and I got so offended Because he was talking to me like I was one of his friends. Like, hey, I need that cash because I got some plans.
I hope he was planning to take like an AP psychology course or get like some college care credit plus things or something.
I hope he was planning on getting his own place with it.
Or buying you some gas.
Right, because of how it made me feel at the time. I was like, don't ever text me something like that. I'm like, what did you have plans that's going to cost you $200 in like a day?
Yeah, suddenly.
And he wanted to go to the studio and record a rap album.
Oh, no.
Right, so this is
He sound like us.
Right, this is his dream.
Tell him, no, us first. Nah, you got to wait your turn.
This is his dream of spending $200 to record a song. So, of course, that didn't happen.
Did you even know he wanted to be doing that ever?
Like, but I had already told him, I know some people, I'll get you connected. Just be patient.
So he's expressed interest, but didn't have the way to get it.
But he wanted to go on Facebook and find somebody with a studio that's going to charge him $200 for a recording session.
Watch him show up, don't even be no studio.
Right.
Be like an old
and that just didn't make sense. But that's just something that he did.
Okay.
And it offended me.
Yes.
And I don't want folks to think I don't love my child.
Now,
I have
we
two
love
sons.
them. We love them.
I love my children,
Yes.
but it's just the things they do. It's just, it irks the hell out of me.
That entitlement.
Like a lot
You
of
be
things.
like,
right.
well, the money didn't come from just, you will start working and think all of a sudden all your money belongs to you. I've been working. Like,
Right.
you want my money too?
You pay
like,
me back.
What the heck? Oh, and the other thing is like, I was out of ideas for my middle child for Christmas. I was like, okay, so what I can't get and can't think of, and you can't think of nothing either, here's the money. And she's like, well, do I have to spend it? I was like, you didn't even have to make it. So you spend it, and that should be the easy part. Like,
Right.
I have to work for and spend mine. And then I have to pick, do I want to pay this bill or that bill? And so our producer is the most amazing guy on the face of the earth, and I think he has something to say. So I'm going to ask if that's true. And I know this can be edited out, so that's awesome. Hi.
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 You're just getting out of the shot. Just
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Well,
She
get me
don't
back
wanna
in
be
there.
close.
Yeah, I don't, because I got a pimple, but it's in the cinnamon.
You try to get away from it.
I know. I'm like, what?
No, I don't know what that's about.
I'm sorry. No, because I don't want to be like doing this. I don't want to be like popping them in the eye because I talk with my hands, so I'm really conscientious
Just scoot
about
over
it.
3 inches. Jeez. I don't want you close to me either. I'm not going to touch you.
Get a bigger camera. No, I'm kidding. I know you're not going
I'm going
to touch
somewhere
me.
with this part right here.
Oh, my
You just
God.
let me know when you're ready for
Yeah,
us to
you
talk.
can just talk because they edit out whatever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because we do.
Say something like, okay, and we're back or something.
Okay.
Okay, and we're back.
Even though we've been here the whole
Right. Even though we've been here the whole time, we're back.
Yeah.
And when we record these shows, like I said, we've done several broadcasts together, Tina and I, so we're not strangers. But when we record these shows, Tina always acts or pretends like she doesn't want to be close to me. They just told her she had to get a little bit closer so she can get into the camera shot. And Tina always puts on this front and or facade like she doesn't want to be close to me. And I don't understand why that is. So
I do have
would-
one butt cheek kind of hanging gingerly off the edge of the chair. But...
Gingerly?
Yes, but my yoga has helped me brace my core. So
She does. She you know. And I'm an attractive guy. I'm not unattractive, and I don't understand.
Here we go, America.
I don't
Ain't nobody
understand
said.
why she doesn't like being close
Ain't
to me.
nobody said.
So
none of
maybe
that.
it's just a lot of love or a lot of tension between us. I'm not understanding why that is.
I'm just gonna nod in agreement.
And I'm going
Yes.
to I'm going to
I don't know
watch
what
I'm going to
I'm
watch
supposed
what
to
I
say.
say because once this show really takes off, I don't want her to accuse me of anything improper
funny.
as far as a sexual allegation.
Yeah,
or
because then
sexual
you'd have to quit the
misconduct.
show, and then I'd have to name
But
it
see,
one
but see, I
on, and
wouldn't
then.
quit. I wouldn't quit. I wouldn't.
So you wouldn't step down like all these people voluntarily did who know they fondled a vagina or whatever?
Absolutely not.
Looked it up somebody.
Absolutely not. With
Okay.
those allegations, I mean, I think some of them are true. I think some of them are affairs going bad. I think a lot as it relates to that. But I wouldn't step down. I wouldn't quit, especially if I know I didn't do anything wrong.
Well, they had known they had done wrong. Well, the ones that are guilty had known they had done wrong and didn't do anything prior. I mean, so why step down now? It's like,
Right.
I mean, what's the problem now? You obviously didn't have a conscientious, conviction back then. So what is it now about? And I just think they're like, look, I don't want you taking everything I own, so I'm gonna go. But yes, Lonnie, it's LJ. Oops, hi, sorry, you can edit that out. I'm not afraid to be close. It's just that I don't necessarily. I don't get close to most people. Like I have to actually stand still and like cringe when Mr. Tina wants to be like all in the kitchen, and then my kids start like, I'm gonna throw up if you guys touch each. It's like so I'm just always used to being on guard in public
with closeness.
No, I don't. But I will say that my coworkers love to hug. It's like, oh my gosh, I won't see you till New Year's, and like New Year's is like 2 days from now. But on like December 28th, it's like I'm not gonna see you till the next year, and they want to hug, and I'm like. That's still a work day, and we're still work people. We're not.
Tina came in and greeted Daryl and Eric.
No, Daryl wasn't here. See,
When he got here, you greeted him,
This
you know,
guy.
with a hug.
Okay,
with-
now it's getting to a deeper rooted issue. I
with-
can't even help it. What? Okay.
But I got nothing. I got a
No,
hi.
I would not have hugged Daryl had he not extended all his arms to me. And I had to hug Eric because I want Eric to like me because I want him to do things for me that I can't afford to do. So it's like I want him to throw stuff in. So I'm trying to like butter Eric up. And he doesn't even hear us having this conversation. So that's why I did that.
I see.
Yeah, but Eric doesn't know that.
Thank you for the understanding.
Yeah, Eric doesn't know that. He just thinks that I was like being
He
friendly.
just thinks you're
'cause I like him.
genuinely a friendly person.
Yes, he thinks that. Well, he's convinced of that now
I thought
because
that
I
too
hugged
when
him.
I first met you.
Oh, well, no, I am, though. Like, I'm the same all the time. And I really didn't, like, plot to go in there and be like, well, I know if I hug Eric, he might give me extra 5 minutes on the... And, like, it wasn't like that. But I thought, well, it can't hurt. So
I see.
I just threw that in there.
Now I understand.
Yeah, do you understand? Okay.
I do.
All right. Yeah, because, you know, I
Unfortunately.
like to explain myself, make sure everything's
It's
clear.
okay. It's
All right,
okay.
so I hopefully you guys are hanging in there with us because, you know, we don't have all day to have this conversation. And all of a sudden I feel like I have something in my nose. Do I have something in my nose?
No.
Okay, great, because I feel like I do. And if it falls, like, I'm just glad that okay, so 3-day weekend. So my friend Linnea, who I've known forever, like, since I was 10. So we were both like lying about our addresses so we could like not go to the school that's around the block because we lived in the hood. So then we didn't want to go to that school. So I guess both our mamas was like, well, we'll just lie and put you on 2 like city buses and send you to this other school. So anyway, her and I were the 2 people in at this school. And the first day I met her was in 5th grade. And when she walked in, I swore she was a teacher because well, she was like 5'7". She had, you know, like boobs and stuff. And then she had a purse. Oh my God. Like who has a purse in 5th grade? And then she had like 3-inch heels on. So I knew she was a teacher. She ended up not being the teacher, but she ended up being a friend of mine for life. And she always has her birthday on Martin Luther King weekend for 2 reasons. 1, she's a state employee and likes to get turned the F up. Okay. So then 2, it's because her birthday is usually the 15th. So she had her party yesterday. And I guess I'm just doing stuff wrong. Like, how do you celebrate your birthday?
I usually go out, maybe go out with some friends, you know, have a good time. I don't do the big parties or anything anymore.
Okay.
But,
No, you
yeah.
just had one. You had one at a venue, and I didn't go.
What is
and
it?
you were like, "Are you coming to the party? My mom is throwing a party. She wants me to have a party.
That was
Party
that was
time.
like
Party
a
at
dinner.
the big location on the waterfront."
It was a dinner or,
On the
or a lunch.
waterfront.
It was a lunch.
It was
it wasn't a
lunch is what
party.
you have like in a bag or a box.
It was a Sunday lunch, like at 4 o'clock, lunch, early dinner,
it's
however you want to
brunch now,
term
y'all.
it. Lunch, early dinner, brunch, dinner, whatever you
it
want to
was
call it.
lunch, though.
But it wasn't like a party. You know, it wasn't dancing.
So
and
the
music.
invites didn't make it a party.
No invites don't make it a party. What are you talking about?
And you don't have to bring a gift unless you want to. Didn't make it a party either, right?
That's just respect, cordial. It's
And
the
my
right
mom wants
thing
me to
do.
have a party. Didn't make it a party either. So we just said that because Mama was like,
I'm not
asking
going
me
to have
to
this
have a party.
conversation with you.
Oh,
What you were saying about your friend is
I'm saying that the way people celebrate, they put a lot of thought into it, and
course.
they drag the stuff out. Not that they shouldn't, because I feel like, you know, you celebrate yourself. But I guess I'm just not. I just don't feel like people want to spend that much time with me. So I never assume, hey, I'm planning like a 3-day bash and you're going to be there all 3 days and everybody's going to. I mean, I just want to have like the people that are most meaningful to me and then, you know, do a thing. Like, I like to have stuff in my house because I don't like to put on clothes and put makeup. So I'm just like, come to my house, put on your pajamas. I'll have some stuff. You know, it'll be fun because it's more intimate. You don't have to worry about decorating nothing. You just have a thing at the house, clean up when you leave, it's done.
what did she have?
She rented out a cafe here in Toledo, or maybe she didn't. Maybe she just like used part of it and it was open to the public. But, you know, she went all out. Like and you know how you have milestone birthdays, 40, 50, 30, whatever. You know, it's every year for her. She don't even play. It's like, if it's her birthday, she gonna do it. And she's single. She can do that. I mean, she doesn't have any reason why she shouldn't be like celebrating with all her friends at all times. She's got money and everything. And she's one of my dearest friends, Linnea. I love you. And I love the way she just goes into these parties and she has like costume changes and, you know, apples painted in glitter and like just the whole
That's
I
a
just
bit much.
But I mean for her is but she's, you know, she's loved by a lot of people, so I could see how you kind of want to have that in a public place when you're someone like her. But
I could see her as
Yeah,
the
it's-
type to marry herself.
but I bet, you know, even though she got as turned up as a turnip last night and probably way into the wee hours of the morning, the girl was probably at church today. So I have to give her a lot of credit. And speaking of churches, so this kind of speaking of churches, because I'm going to get to that point. But did you hear about that guy that won the Mega Millions down in Florida? He's
No.
20. Okay, 20-year-old boy, yes, won $451 jackpot on Wednesday. and he opted for the lump sum, which is $258 million. So most people say you should do that because you can accrue more on the interest over time. So just take the lump sum. Plus, you must die. You might die. If you die before you get your, monthly annuity of like $3 million or yearly or whatever, then you just want the lump sum for peace of mind. Invest it. If you need to split it with other people,
if you do the right thing with it.
If you do, and you could actually mismanage a whole lot of that money and be on like practice course. Like, so you could waste like $100 million before you be like, oh, okay, I got the hang of it now. I'll just take care of the rest of this $158 million. And so anyway, he won this, but I just don't understand how people like say who they are, like all over the nation. Like, he's only 20. So, I mean, you have to imagine the attention, one, his age draws, two, all the women that now want to be his wife who ain't never met him before. And then three, just everybody now knows who this boy is. Would you tell people like that? Like, would you want the whole world to know?
Absolutely not. I wouldn't want anybody to know.
Okay.
Except the people that I personally shared it with. But I think they have to make that information public, though.
In some states.
Right. I think so. I think they, in some areas, they have to make the information public, who won, blah, 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 blah. But I wouldn't want people to know. That makes you a target for any and everything, whether it be positive or negative. So, no, of course not.
And I can respect the people who choose not to. I used to be mad at them, like, why won't they come forward and tell us who they are? It's like, what difference does it make? It's like, either way, when they had $10, I didn't know them. I'm not going to know them anymore or better. Or, they ain't giving me no money, so why do I need to know who they are? But I guess I just feel like if I won, I'm not sure I'd even tell the people I live with. I'd be like, they'd be seeing the house being clean all of a sudden, and it'd be like real good dinners, like leg of lamb and stuff, and there'd be like a mysterious guy walking around the house dusting stuff, and they'd be like, who is that? And I'd be like, yeah, no, just don't mind him. And then, they'd be like, don't you work today? And I'm like, oh no, I called in sick because I quit my job and didn't tell them. I don't think I would even tell them until it would be a while, because I just feel like you just start doing things differently when you have big changes like that. And I'm not so sure I could handle, I think I'd have to like start a fake fight at work so I could get fired, so that I could have an excuse not to share any money. I mean, that's just, I don't know what I would do. And people feel entitled. Like when you said that one time that, if I gave the guy $5 to play a lottery ticket and he wins $50 million, how much am I entitled to? You're entitled to $5.
Right. You're entitled to the amount. And I was going to bring that up. You're entitled to the amount that, like, if I borrow $50 from a friend of mine, and I use that $50 to play the lotto, I buy 50 lottery tickets, and on one of those tickets I win $100 million, that friend doesn't have the right to say, hey, you owe me $50 million or $10 million or whatever. No, I owe you $50. And a lot of people, because I put this out on social media, and a lot of people said that was the wrong thing to do, to actually pay the person back the amount of money that they let you borrow. I don't understand how that's the wrong thing to do when I'm paying you back what you let me borrow. It's not it's not you getting lucky that I won. It's me getting lucky that I won. You're going to get back what I borrowed from you.
Yes.
Now, if I throw in an extra $10, $20 as interest, then fine, but don't expect, like, well, dude, I gave you $50 and you won, at least give me $2 million.
And on the other hand, like, if you give me 50 and I lose,
right,
what you looking for then? I mean, I can't give you nothing then.
Exactly.
So I'll pay you back eventually.
Right. If I lose, you're going to want that same 50.
I'll eat
so if I win, you should want that same 50 as well.
Right.
I got kids. Yeah. So I'm not, this money, if it's invested right, could last, a couple of generations. So I'm not going to give you half of it just because you gave me $50 or even $100. That's just dumb. It doesn't make sense. But a lot of people, surprisingly, they said, oh, I would give them $2 million or half or whatever. But that's easy to say when you don't have that cash sitting in front of you. So it's easy to say you'll give away a couple of $1 million to your friend who let you borrow $50 because you don't have it. Now, if you got a briefcase with $10 million in it, giving away $5 is going to get a little bit more difficult at that time, because now you got that cash in hand.
Say.
So, I wouldn't want anybody to know. I would pay back what I owe if somebody let me borrow the money to buy the lottery tickets.
Definitely don't tell them you won.
Right. I wouldn't tell them I won anything. But, with that kind of money comes a lot of responsibility and comes a lot of discipline. So at 20 years old, I'm not sure if this young man actually has that as far as discipline and life experiences to know what to do with that amount of money.
Or a team of people.
Right, or a team of people that will help him with that. Because again, 9 times out of 10, people right now are coming out of the woodwork, especially women.
Man, I was told my own husband, I was like, too bad I'm married, because I would at least go try to be a contender.
Right,
like,
exactly.
I'm funny. He might like me. It's like, hey, I know I'm 45 years older than you, but
how much has he blown already? And it's
wow.
You
Just
read stories of
that.
people that have won the lottery and ended up right back broke. There was a woman that won the lottery and spent $11 million of it bailing her boyfriend out of jail. because he kept going back to jail. And so that's the amount of money that she invested just in him to be free.
Well, she could have
So
just
it's
bought the jail at that
right,
point.
so it's
and
just
kept him in there.
it's just, people do stupid things with that amount of money because they lack discipline, and they lack the fortitude to say, hey, why don't I just kind of invest this or buy this, pay cash for this?
People
pay
say that
off
when they
my
get their
debt.
tax return, LJ. It ain't like they, So, you got this bill all year. You're like, wow, I wish I didn't have this bill. And then you get your tax return and you could pay something on that or
pay it
most of
off.
it. And then you're like, no, I'm going to treat myself because I've been working hard.
Right.
You're going to get
Now all of a sudden you
shoes,
deserve-
a purse dog and, new
now
car or
all of a
whatever.
sudden you deserve a smart TV.
Now all of a sudden
just
you didn't
stupid
care.
stuff.
Now you're back to like, yeah, I mean, honestly. But what I was getting to was churches who, like, do you think the church should be entitled, like if I belong to a church, should it be entitled to anything I win? Like, do you think they have a right
Your
to put
10%?
pressure on me? I mean, do
They
they
want
just,
that
are they
10%.
even going to be specific at that point? Because they may be like, well, let's not mention the 10%. We could probably get,
Right, but
it's
some
like
church-
she won $258
Some
million.
churches will, though. You'd be surprised. Some churches send out statements like, hey, you owe us
Yes, I do realize they're running it like
$1,000
a
in
business.
tithe money.
Yes.
And I think that's despicable, but whatever.
Well, yeah, but do you also think, well, I mean, if a church wants that kind of money or they think they should get yours, do you think churches should play the lottery? Like, do you think they should pool together? I mean, they got bills.
I mean, I'm sure the Bible,
They think it's okay if you play, they don't take your money.
It speaks
so.
on gambling being a sin and
I
all
get
that
it
other
because
kind
lack
of
of
stuff.
faith
So,
and oh my gosh,
right. So of course,
the
I
birds
don't
of the
think,
earth and the grass and the blades. I know.
right. I don't think they should gamble and as a church collectively, hey, congregation, we're gonna pool our money to play the lottery.
I know
no,
that,
I don't
but
think that. But if a person wins,
They're looking to have some of it.
right, of course they are.
Okay,
and I don't think that person is entitled to give money to the church.
Unless they run up to the In-N-Out or the 7-Eleven with me, but if you,
I
the
just-
whole church.
I don't think that, like, if you want $250 million, the tithe on that is $25 million. What am I going to give a church $25 million for? Because see, I need specifics. I need to know where this money is going.
No, I
because,
just wouldn't be doing. I'd be
right.
quitting
I
that
just
church.
would. I just wouldn't do
put
it.
on
But
a
if
devil
they
suit and be like, I don't even believe in God no more. Okay,
Right.
so just leave me alone.
if they expected it,
Just
then
kidding,
I'ma
Jesus,
need-
I love you, and I did a
I'ma-
Hail Mary.
Right. I'm gonna need some specifics
Mm-hmm.
before I make a decision. If you expected me to give you $25 million just because I'm a member of this church,
Yeah.
and it should be free
Right.
because you're preaching a Bible that's free, and everything that you do as a service to the community supposedly is free.
Okay, now
So
y'all
why?
see how excited he's getting, and this ain't even the show
Well,
topic.
it ain't
This is
the show,
just
but I'm
like
just
if we
saying,
were to talk about it.
because
so I'm just gonna let y'all know when that show come up, I'm gonna get him a nice smooth mimosa in the morning and a cuddly something to rub.
I need
little
one of
fidget
those
spinner
squeeze things
something.
or a fidget spinner.
Yeah, he needs to just take the edge off because he gets a little
I'm not
excited. I
getting
mean, he even
excited.
was doing the preacher finger just now. Did y'all see that? I was like, okay.
I'm not getting excited. I'm just
So we're gonna take a couple deep breaths, and now we're back. And
back.
yeah,
Back
so
to normal.
yeah,
But
so
I don't think it's the right thing to do.
no,
There
I
it
guess
is.
not. But then I just was like, well, shoot, churches could be like, I might be a part of a big church if they're pooling. Everybody's pulling down. Like we have these mega churches here. Like, what if those churches that have like 4,500 people on Sunday, like pooled together? That would increase your odds like by a lot because you can divide 258 million by 45. It ain't like you wouldn't be getting a
By
nice
4,500?
sum of money. Yes.
No.
I mean, why not? Because that's 3 commas. That's 9 numbers. You're dividing by 4
So what
numbers.
if I
You
invest?
have 4 numbers worth of
Okay,
stuff.
so say
I'd
this.
get $50,000 at least.
What if I put in $50 and the
Oh, no,
the
Lord.
other member puts in 5?
See, I hope somebody's keeping track of that because I'm only giving
Exactly.
$1 because only one number wins. So that's all I'm giving. So they should just mandate everybody to do that.
Exactly. So I'm not doing anything with the church.
Okay, well, if church, whatever, hey, if you a church and y'all be playing the Mega Millions and
You
y'all
wrong.
within 50 miles of Toledo, Ohio, I'm going to join y'all virtual service on Sundays, and I'm feeling the idea. But, okay, just kidding. I'm really kidding. Okay, so moving on, or back to my friend, actually. So the other thing I
Yes.
noticed about these birthday parties is that, okay, they've come a long way. So you know how, like, people will spike your drink or put something in your drink, like drug you to death or kill you, whatever. So
Roofie.
now, roofie. So now they have, like, her drink, I was like, oh, what is that? I thought it was, like, some kind of toy or a gift, or maybe she had a pet in there or something. But in her glass, on top of it, was, like, a leather tint. Like a tarp. It looked like it was buttoned down and it had like things hanging from it, and it's to keep people from putting things in your drink. So I had just enough room
Except
for like
the
a
person
straw
making
hole.
it.
But I just was mesmerized. But I'm like, oh, y'all are like y'all are going hard in the paint. I just didn't know this kind of stuff existed. But so I'm learning going to these adult parties what people do, and because I would just have my glass and be drinking, sit it down somewhere, come back and probably die and pass out. But these people are really having the forethought to create this. So whoever came up with that idea, like that was amazing because I'm sure they bought that somewhere. So Shout out to the people that know that people get drugged in bars because you giving people
people
a little
still
edge
get
on
drugged
that.
in bars.
And people still do. Well, you still go home with crazy people, even if you did protect your drink. It's like you still make stupid decisions. But
Exactly.
yeah, but I just thought that was like the coolest thing.
So did she enjoy your party?
She was thoroughly enjoying her party. And the thing about her is that I know that she likes to drink and she really loves to celebrate. So I was like, I'm going to get there early so that you remember me. But that backfired. I didn't get there till like 3 hours. And so that was after her first costume change. So she's like, you missed my dress. And I'm like, because it was little black dress theme. So I wore little black pants and a sweater because it was effing cold outside. So, but I was still cute. But it's not my party, so I can wear what I want. But yeah, so she had a costume change. She had on this red, like, sexy superhero sequined hoochie mama dress. And she's made like her butt, like, you know how like big butts are fashionable now or whatever. Well, she'd been had one since 5th grade. I mean, she was known in Toledo as the girl with the butt or whatever. So the booty was sitting on high, and it was just a beautiful look. And she had on like 24-inch heels or whatever, and it was just so cute. And I'm just thinking, like, people really do this, but on my birthday, I just want to wear pajamas. Like, what's wrong with me?
That's
So
way too
I'm
much.
feeling like I need to grow up or like something, become more exciting. I don't know.
You might.
I mean, I'm not old. I just feel like I just want to sit down somewhere.
I mean, but I think you got to look at why people do that, though, especially as
Oh.
adults. I mean, sometimes it's just for the fun of life, and then sometimes it's underlying issues that are going on. I can't say what it is because I don't know this person.
Okay.
But I
She's
think
pretty confident
when
person.
it
She
when
does like
it,
to celebrate herself.
right.
I like that about her.
You know, sometimes it is to celebrate yourself, and then sometimes, like I said, there's some underlying issues going on. But whatever it is, if you have a good time celebrating yourself, then celebrate yourself. Some people just don't. Like, some people would rather stay at home in their pajamas, or some people would rather have a nice, dinner or lunch or brunch and just leave it at that. Some people want to turn up. Whatever it is that you do to celebrate yourself, do that and have fun with it because you only live once. That's what I say. Have yourself a good time, enjoy yourself. But, I think birthdays after maybe 14, birthday parties, I think that's a little pretentious, but people still do it. I still do it. So it's just what people do. But, if I'm 43 and I'm saying, hey, I'm having a birthday party, it's like, come on, guy, that's kind of juvenile, unless you theme it. And I think that's why a lot of adults theme it, where it's a Caribbean theme or it's a 70s, 80s theme. It's always a theme going along with it, so it doesn't make you seem so juvenile just to have a party.
Right.
Just to celebrate yourself. So I got to theme it.
Like an event.
Right, so when everybody comes, so everybody can enjoy it. So it's not just about me, but it is about me, because I do want you to bring gifts, but you don't have to. But
if
I'm
you
gonna
do,
let
I'll take 'em.
Right, I'm going to let it be known that I want you to,
I wear a
so
size
that
6
you
shoe.
will. And then, come in your 80s gear or whatever, so you'll have a good time too.
Right, yeah.
But this is really about me. So
Yeah.
most adults theme their parties, whereas little kids, they just have a party.
Yeah.
They have something in the backyard.
Right.
As you become a teenager, you start slow dancing. You might get to turn the lights out a little
Oh,
bit.
snap.
It
Wait a
just
minute.
depends on what you got going on. But as adults, you theme your parties. And again, if you like to celebrate life, then do so. That's what I say.
That reminded me that as we go on in the show, we have to have a show about party etiquette, because y'all sending y'all kids to parties with no gift. I don't understand. And then, like, if your kid can't, okay, so the reason I think it's fair for the birthday child to get a gift and why you should send your child with one is because, one, the person paid for your child to come. Like, whether you think they did or not, or even if they're having it at their house, that's time. And that requires preparation. It's either time or money. You have one or you have both. Like, you can't get them back either way. So be considerate. Send your child with a gift. Send your child on time. Do not send your child's cousin with them to the party and be like, well, his cousin was in town. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. So when we get to the day we have this show, I'm going to need to have a mimosa or two. And I don't even drink like that, but I'm going to make sure I do that day. And we are going to get to the bottom of what is, acceptable at these things. Now, it doesn't matter if you're young going to somebody's party, if you're, older going to somebody's party, if it's a relative, it doesn't matter. Like, there's certain things we need to just be like, doing as the person who's been invited. So we're going to be talking about that, and, party planners, all y'all people. And I need to hear what y'all do. This is going to be great.
We definitely need to discuss party etiquette as it relates to slumber parties.
Oh.
And you sending your kids over to somebody's house to spend the evening. We definitely need to talk about that. And I'm not going to even put out there all the stuff that I have an issue with as it relates to slumber parties. But when we talk on this show about that, parents, there are a lot of things that some of you just keep missing as it relates to slumber parties and sending your little dusty kids over to somebody's house, to stay the night. I just have an issue with a lot of things that I've seen, a lot of things that I've heard, and we need to talk about it because these things need to stop immediately.
Well, my daughter has a sleepover tonight. And
good luck.
Which is another reason why I can't work tomorrow, because I'd be leaving work to go pick her up before I take her to dance. Anyway, she having a slumber party. She going somewhere. Now, I don't have those things at my house. Actually, I told her that's never ever happening in her life. So as long as she has friends to do it, that's enough. Like, you don't need to sleep over. What's the point of sleeping? Anyway, I guess they don't sleep. But my point is, in the morning when I pick her up, no tooth has been brushed. Her eyes are still cemented shut by the stuff that seeps out of them when she's sleeping. There's like a slobber string up the side of her face. And she smells like a man who doused himself in ketchup and skunk pee. So I'm just like, what part of you being human was missed this morning? Like, she's like, well, we had breakfast. I was like, y'all all had breakfast sitting around stinking like this? Like, what?
The parents just want to get your child out of their house as quickly as possible.
Well, I mean, we're lucky enough to have friends that are like 11 o'clock, because otherwise I wouldn't let her go. If I got to pick my child up at 8 a.m., she can just stay home. Like, y'all can FaceTime, because I'm not about to leave to go pick up. It's not happening. Like, hey, America, I don't like sleepovers. Like, I don't understand them unless, you're an adult and you're a guy and I'm a girl. It's not, but
adults should have them.
Adults should have sleepovers, but that's also another show we'll have.
But not kids.
And consenting adults, though, not the kind that molest you and drive you to their mansion and then take your pants off against your... Not those kind of sleep...
Don't send your child. Don't send your child to somebody's house when you know your child is a whiny crybaby, and 2 hours after they be there, they're gonna be calling to go home.
Talking about the cake got gluten in it, because ain't nobody about to make no special cake for somebody who ain't the birthday person.
You better send them with a special piece of cake that they can eat themselves.
Don't send them with a note. Don't be like, gotta take the medicine at 1, 2, and 5. Gotta turn him on his side at 3, 4, and 7. Like, nobody's taking care of your kid the way you take care of your kid.
Right.
Like, you don't even take care of your own kid that great. Why do you think you gonna send your kid somewhere and like 8 other kids and your kid's special? That ain't even your kid's house.
Back in the Uber.
And they probably don't even like your kid. They probably just invite him because they invited the whole rest of the class. So keep your kid at home. But that's another story too.
Exactly.
Okay, yeah, I'm sorry.
As we're discussing things, I really want to, we'll get into a show about, there's just something that bothers me. And that something is...
Just one thing.
No, it's a lot.
New.
But that something is adults with braces.
Ooh, they're so cute.
And other things that adults just really
I
shouldn't have. Like, I don't think any person over 18 should have braces. Like, if you're just now getting braces, then your parents did you a disservice. I absolutely believe that. I don't know why you think adults with braces is adorable, but I think it's just something adults shouldn't have. And it's a lot of things that adults shouldn't have.
He's preaching again.
Like bad credit
the hand is out.
Suspended license.
Oh, shoot. You about to unfriend me? Because I'm thinking I might need to work on my score.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, it's just things, and it's things that I have that I shouldn't, but I do, that I'll get more into on the show. So I'm not going to...
Can't wait for that.
I'm not going to speak it like I'm shaming people, but these are things that I know as an adult. I shouldn't have these issues. I shouldn't have these problems. If I had jacked up teeth for the first 25 years of my life, then that's just something you deal with. You
that's
don't
what
go
J.
to
Cole said.
Right. You don't go to the dentist and be like, "Hey, doc, I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this gap in my mouth. I'm 42, but I'm tired of it now."
But maybe people are like, they're doing other cosmetic things. It's just that when they get to the teeth, I'm like, oh. Okay, so that's what maybe because it's cheaper than boobs. I don't know. Like, somebody has to tell me.
Get the boobs.
I mean, maybe you did that already.
If you're a woman and you have to choose between braces and boobs, I say go for the boobs.
They're definitely cheaper because I had 2 in braces at one time and I was $10,000 and I don't think we ate for like 2 years. So I lost like 35 pounds. But my point is that, if it's about money, do something for yourself, mom. Forget them kids. So I see why your kids grew up and wanted braces, because you got boobs when they were 6 years old. I get it. I mean, I do.
The boobs. Get the boobs. Even though a lot of people have issues with boobs. As far as, and we're going to talk about that too.
Yeah, I mean, how important are they?
Public breastfeeding.
As
it relates to public
Alrighty then.
boobery, if that's a word.
Yeah, I like it. We'll make it up.
People like boobs, especially men, and people will use boobs to sell cars to cheeseburgers. It don't matter what it is. Ooh. But as soon as a woman pulls out a boob to feed a child,
it seals the deal.
People have issue with that.
Yes.
Like, we don't mind seeing boobs as long as it's not feeding people. And I don't understand why people have an issue.
That's my
foot.
Hey,
She's kicking me.
I'm kicking you.
I don't understand. And I put this out on social media, and it got like 600 responses, and maybe 80% of the people were like, "No, that's indecent. She needs to cover up. So this child should eat in the dark because you can't see a nipple, because a nipple offends you." But Kim Kardashian's silicone self can show her entire body and break the internet. It's like, I don't understand, but it's just the logic of people and the society that we live in. We have a problem with boobs as long as they're feeding children.
Which is what they're meant to do.
Right, which is the primary reason women have them.
Right.
But, if you're just showing them off, or if you have a nice rack, as they say, or a nice set, or a nice pair.
Okay, we need a disclaimer. Where's the attorney?
Whatever you have.
We ain't trying to offend nobody. We want everybody to listen to this show.
If you got some nice fun bags.
You call your boobs whatever you want.
You call it whatever you want.
You don't have to call them what he just called them.
These are just what men call them.
I don't even have boobs, so I'm like, I don't even know.
These are what men call them. We'll definitely take a look at that. We'll definitely gaze upon the beauty of boobs as long as they're not feeding children.
And then we need to talk about the necessity of boobs, because obviously women are female. They don't need to have like significant boobage to be like, validly female. So women who feel like, that's keeping you back, keeping you down, you might be wrong. You could be right. So we're going to talk about like the value people place on physical appearance and how that does or does not, or could not help or hinder your success. And I can't wait to hear from the people that it worked for. If you're willing to share your story about how you went from like 0 to hero because you went
based
checked
on your
in
cup
with,
size?
Based on whatever. I don't care if you got like extends or whatever you did, pills you took, if you could afford to get the surgery or whatever, and then would you do it if you could? And so I'm just dying to hear. I'm fascinated by these shows where these people getting their butts injected with the fat they pulled out their back. Like, I'm loving this stuff, but they look crazy. But I mean, I love watching it.
Right.
It's on Snapchat.
But then they'll always
Who loves
say
Snapchat? Me, raise your hand.
They'll always say, especially women, sorry, I'm just throwing it out there, but they'll always say, I'm not doing this for a man, I'm doing this for me, which is a damn lie. I don't believe that. It's a damn lie. You wouldn't
on a Sunday, I'm saying damn.
Right, you wouldn't do that.
That's how serious
just
it is.
for you. You're doing it for the attention of somebody, and if you are a heterosexual female, then you're doing it for the attention of men.
Here's the things I do just for me.
Right.
I pick my nose just for me. I don't brush my teeth just for me. I wear the same pants 2 days in a row just for me. Like, that's the stuff you should be doing just for you.
Right.
Ain't nothing you putting on you didn't think about what somebody might say if they saw you. And if you get a compliment, okay, we got to talk about that too, because people do. Now, you knew you came out the house, had thought about what you put on, did your hair, put on makeup, and as soon as somebody says, oh, you look nice today, then you want to talk about why you don't look nice today, or why, or this whole thing,
fake
or
modesty,
blah, blah, blah.
fake
I'm like,
humility.
yeah, is that what that's called?
Fake
Yes, that's
modesty,
what that is.
fake humility.
Nothing irritates me more,
right.
women, because men don't do it. Men just be like, oh, thanks, because they're not hung up on
I don't
it.
even say thank you.
But women are always looking for attention. Women, I say it all the time. It's not an insult. It's just the truth. But when you get it, like, you don't handle it properly. And what that does is just insults the person who took time to observe and offer the compliment. So y'all got to stop doing that, because nobody wants to sit there and talk to you 10 more minutes about, after they said, I like your shirt. And then you got to tell them, like, how you got it out the back of the closet and how you used to couldn't fit it and how red wasn't your color a year ago. And nobody cared. And how you didn't think it was coming back in style and how you got it for $5 when it was in the wrong part of the store. And okay,
nobody
just
wants
stop.
the backstory. Nobody, especially a man. Like, if a man comes to it and say, hey, you look nice. Oh, really? Do it? If you're acting shocked that you look nice,
right,
then maybe you need some type of therapy or some type of emotional,
it's a deeper rooted issue. It ain't even about your shirt.
Because all of a sudden you don't know whether or not you look nice, so I kind of confirmed it for you.
Right.
Like, if you give a man that much power to control your self-esteem, then you got some issues.
Or anybody.
Anybody, male or female. If you give a person that much power to control your self-esteem, then you got some deep-rooted issues that you really need to figure out. But I hate when people say, whether it's male or female, I don't do this for the attention of, because it's obvious that you do. When it comes to men, I remember Dave Chappelle said this, men would be sleeping in cardboard boxes and riding around on 10 speeds if it wasn't for women.
I mean, women wouldn't comb one hair if it didn't matter.
Right,
I mean, trust me. Half of us do it right anyway. It's like, okay, girl,
we
let me
don't
give you some
go through
pointers.
the motions.
Not that my hair is amazing, it's just crazy, but I mean,
trying to convince others and ourselves that we don't do anything for women. Like, 99% of everything that we do as far as men is for the attention of women. That's why they call cars chick magnets. It's like, that's just what we do.
He's got his hands.
But we don't. Yeah, I talk with my hands a lot. I'm very
I do
passionate
too, but he's
about
got like the
certain
Martin
things.
Luther King honorary holiday
MLK Day,
hands
so
going.
I'm doing my honorary hand motion in memory.
See, we do stuff for MLK
in memory
Day.
of MLK.
Okay, talk like. Can you do that? Can you
no,
like channel him? Okay,
I cannot.
I was reaching. I was begging. I was thinking it would
Yeah,
work.
you're reaching with that one. But it's just not what men do, but women do it. Like I could
I don't know.
I could say you got your boobs done or got your booty done or you wear all that makeup for the attention of men. You do. And a woman will argue me down and be like, no, I don't. I do this for me. I live for me.
These
This is
are
what
lies.
I do.
These are
I don't
lies.
need a man to pay no attention to me.
Lies.
Blah, 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 blah,
All
blah.
kind of lies.
And it's like, what's the big deal about saying, hey, I do this for the attention of the opposite sex
And
or
I'm-
even the same sex,
And I'm
whatever it
pretty
is
sure,
that you do.
like I do, because no one wants to be the non most attractive person in the room, and so it is that you do think, okay, I'm gonna go out here, I'm gonna represent myself. So yes, you put some thought into it, and you need to. Everybody, you don't even need to have a conversation about how you didn't think, blah blah blah. We know, like it should be a given, because we want people to have that kind of esteem about themselves. But on the opposite hand is we don't want you to think that everything has to be everybody's acceptance of you. So there's a balance. Like some days it just depends on the day. Like sometimes you just need to hear that looks nice because you're not really sure, you're trying something new. And if one person says, oh, that looks nice, and you feel better, that's different than always looking for the attention or denying that you're looking for it. So yeah, I mean, it's like all kinds of psychological things there, but
when you mentioned attraction, there was one more thing that I wanted to discuss in the near future. And that happens to be dating on your level of attraction. We'll discuss it because I want to know what people think about it. Like,
so level of attraction, define it.
Basically, if you know that you're a 4 out on a scale of 10, unless you got a lot of money.
But do we get to see the 10 before we decide what we are?
We'll see all of that.
Oh, snap. What are y'all? Tell me what y'all are in the
We may
comments.
have people calling in. You can send me your snapshot.
God.
You can do whatever you want to do, and I'll rate you and let you know what you are.
Is this going to be like when those people on American Idol think they can sing and their mama thinks
Right,
they can sing,
because
but
there's
nobody
people
in
out there
America
that-
thinks they can
there's
sing?
people out
'Cause
there
I'm
that
just
think
wondering.
they're 10s and you're not. Like if you know for a fact that you are a 4, you should be dating. You know, and I heard a comedian say this, but it was profound. You should be dating between 3 and 5. That's it. You don't go for the 7s, the 10s because that's not your level.
You don't think you should shoot for the stars so you can land among the clouds or whatever? Or
That's
shoot
just-
for the moon so you can land on Saturn?
Shoot for what? Shoot for
land
what? You know, the target
in the
that you
atmosphere?
can shoot for the target that you can hit. That's like a person with one eye trying to hit a bullseye.
Mm.
You might not be able to hit that bullseye, but you can hit, you know, around it. So shoot for the target that you can hit. So date on your level, and I think that topic will offend a lot of people.
I feel like you had like a personal issue
It has
with
to be
it.
addressed. I've never had a personal issue
No,
with
I
it.
mean, did somebody do something? What?
You know, you got if I think I'm a 7 or 8, easy.
Hey, what in the world?
If I think I'm a 7 or 8,
Then tell these 5s,
easy.
don't be coming over here for this.
Right.
Right? Like, get out. This ain't
You
even
know,
your game.
if a
This ain't your
4
court.
If a 4 or a 5 approaches you and you think that you're an 8 or a 9, that's offensive. It's like,
Yes.
how dare you
Right.
think that you on my level?
Like when you're a
people should know
senior
their
and a
level.
sophomore and a freshman, like you have a class, you need to
Exactly.
stay in
Stay
that
in your
class. Like
class.
learn at that pace.
Stay
be
in
at
your
that pace.
lane.
It'll be your time. Maybe you need to go get braces and then you'll be a 7
Or
like me,
boobs.
or boobs, and you could like rise up a couple notches or whatever. But it's not your time right now. This is for
And
the 7s.
Right, and
you
I know
are
people,
a 2.2.
I know people will be like, well, it's not about that. It's
always
about how
about
you
that.
feel. Initially, it's about attraction physically. Do I like you? Do I like the way that you look? So if you know that you're not that hot, or if you know there's some things you need to work on, like there's some things I need to work on before I become a 10, and
Maybe.
before
Someone else might be like,
Some-
you ain't need to change nothing with your club foot.
Right,
I
but,
love a club
they're probably
foot.
a 4 or a 5 already anyway, and they just want to
Right.
keep me on their level. They
That
want to keep
could
me
be.
down.
That's another show.
But
Yes, people
mentally,
who just
right.
don't.
You know what you are.
Like there are, and I can't wait. We'll talk about that as well because there's so many insecure men and women, who don't want to be with the person they with, but they don't want nobody else to be with them because they know they don't deserve nobody better than that. So they're like, at least I got somebody. Okay, we're gonna talk about that too because I see a lot of that. I also see a lot of the other thing where women feel or men feel like they're obligated, and they're even doing this younger and younger and younger. Like people who aren't even in the age where they have to make solid commitments. They're just like young adults. Okay, so young adults, 20, young, whatever. Are with people they've been with maybe since high school or maybe just met, but they feel obligated to stay with that person because that person took their virginity or that person, I like their mama. I mean, y'all don't have to like put a down payment on misery. Like if you know you don't 100% want to see yourself in the future in this
Right.
person, you can say goodbye. It isn't that there won't be somebody else out there for y'all. So we got to talk about that too because there is this guy in our family. He's like a family friend. And my daughter is away at OSU and she's always, Snapchat and all the stuff she's doing. And she has a very fun group of friends. They're all, 20 or whatever. She went to school with this guy. Now, this guy is always in her DM talking about what's your friend? Where's your friend? What? And he has a girlfriend, like back here at home. So, but he said, you know, he doesn't want to hurt her feelings because he took her virginity. They've been together forever. Her mom loves him, blah, 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 blah.
He's 20.
But he's like, but I'm not having fun, but I feel responsible. I'm like, dude, you are like 22, like not even 22, 21. He'll be 21. And I'm just like, if we get into the mindset of thinking that we have to do things for the sake of other people's happiness and you're never happy, you're going to end up doing something to hurt that person anyway, eventually.
Right.
So, and yourself in the process, and you're not going to be happy. So they're not even going to be getting the best of you. So we're going to have that conversation. No, I'm not an amateur psychologist, but somehow I know how to figure out everybody else's stuff except my own. So we're going to talk about that as well as some other things too regarding relationships and people's security levels and abilities to say no and just end stuff when it's time. And
right. I mean,
yeah.
And like I said, like we both said in the beginning, this is going to be a fun show. It's going to be an awesome show. We're going to talk
Wait,
about...
is it time to go?
No, I'm just saying.
Is it time to go, Big D?
I'm throwing it out there because it's on my mind. But we're going to talk about a lot of things. I'm going to try not so much to talk with my hands.
I'm like a bird, I want to fly away. That's what you were doing.
Oh, my God. Anyway...
I'm going to sing the intro.
It's
sealed.
But
I'm singing it.
we're going to talk about a lot of things. Sponsorship, we'll talk about that. The jingle, if you are an artist, please
I'm
make
going to
sure.
spit my water out on the sponsorship. Y'all can just text me.
Yeah.
It's fine, I'll
if
take
you
it.
want to sponsor the show, we'll take it.
Right, we ain't got to wait. Y'all can
Jingles,
tell me now.
send us a jingle. We'll definitely look at that.
Yes.
Send us show topics because we're going to be talking about a lot of things in the near future. I mean, pretty much everything.
Yes.
Especially those things that other shows don't talk about.
Like what?
We're going to talk about.
Like
them.
what?
I can't even say. Just whatever you can think of is what we're going to talk about, and it's a lot. And I can't. You know, a lot of shows don't talk about a lot of things. You know, not honestly, at least. Like a lot of shows, as far as all of these sexual allegations, a lot of shows, especially you know, if they're syndicated or they have big businesses supporting them, a lot of shows won't say, you know what, I don't think all of these women are telling the truth. I just really don't. And me, honestly, I'll say it. Now, maybe that'll cost me something in the near future.
I have said
don't
that
know.
as a woman as well.
But I don't think all of these women with all of these allegations are telling the truth. A lot of it may be affairs going bad, or you thought if you gave a guy a piece of this, he'll give you a piece of that, or he'll, help you with your career, or whatever the case may be. But I don't think all of it is, oh my God, he grabbed my shoulder
It was a surprise.
20 years ago, and I felt so, offended at the time, but I didn't say anything.
So there's two schools of thought because we're hearing from people who obviously were trying to become more popular actresses. So let's just talk about that right now. So I won't say who, but the one girl was like, I went back to his home. His family was all there. And then, we went upstairs to the viewing room and he asked me to give him a massage and then he offered me one. And I was just thinking, okay, he's my, he can help me, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, they admit that. Then there's the ones that are acting like they never had anything to gain. It never crossed their mind. Women, we know that because even when I walked in here, I gave Eric, the owner of the studio, a hug, hoping he'd give me $5 off. So we have thoughts about what we can do to use our female prowess to get things. Now, whether I get the $5, probably not because I'm fully clothed. But the point is that women have to quit pretending like that stuff ain't never crossed their mind because y'all know it has. And then the other thing is like in the Matt Lauer case, are we allowed to say his name?
Yeah, well.
So the one intern was like, I was really I admired him as a producer and I wanted to be like him and everything. So even though I knew it was wrong, I still she admitted that she knew that going through the process and texting and meeting in the bathroom during the Republican convention was wrong. But she did it because she thought it might help her. That's different. But then she did admit she was hurt when he didn't text her back.
Well,
so now she wants to tell the world. Well, she didn't tell the world back then when she knew she was doing the wrong. So I'm just like, I don't know if you want compassion, money, a hug. But at this point, who's it helping? Is it helping you? Is it helping other women even? Because I don't even think that kind of manipulation is ever going to stop. Women love attention. Right. That's all I got to say about it.
But the thing is, if you're coming out with all of these allegations, what are you doing it for?
Yeah.
What's your point? Yeah. What's your purpose?
What's the goal?
Because a lot of, basically what you're saying is this man had power and or control over my body, over my vagina, and he coerced me into giving it all to him for whatever reason.
Right.
If he got money, status, power, whatever you say
it was
that
attractive
he has,
to you.
It attracted you to him to
Yes.
the point where, and not in every case, but in some, to the point where you felt the need to give this man your most prized in a lot of instances.
Or even time. It started with just time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You felt the need to do that, and then when it didn't go the way that you thought, you felt the need to shame this guy to the point whereas it didn't really help you because career-wise, you're not where you want to be. You're not a famous actress. You're not a famous, co-host of Good Morning America.
Or maybe
like
you
that.
are, but this part of our life, your life, we didn't know about until now. And we're like, why bother now? You're like super famous and got two Oscars.
It really didn't help you.
Not that we don't care.
And are you trying to help other women or whatever the case may be? Because now,
or do you have a movie coming out?
Now men are walking on eggshells on their jobs. Like when I'm at work, guys really don't say much.
Yeah.
Now women will talk about any and everything.
Yeah, how is that?
Like a woman the other day said, one of you guys need to go sleep with so-and-so so she can not be so cranky. And we just look like, if we had said that, we would be fired.
What in the actual what?
But women, they said it, they laughed, and then they said, which one of you are going to do it? And they laughed it off like it wasn't nothing. And if that happens where I'm at, you can only imagine that it happens on a bigger scale in bigger places. And it's like, but if a man says it, or even if I say, you know what, you look nice today. If that woman doesn't think that, like if it was me and Idris,
I guess you don't think you should be saying
right,
it.
if it was me and Idris Elba working in the same place, and I walked by and said, "Hey Tina,
somebody getting fired."
Right, hey Tina, you look nice today. Ugh. And then she reporting me.
Yeah, but Idris Elba, she did a dance after he said
with
it.
his 6'2" self and his British accent. His British, well, women love him. I'm just using him as an example. With
white women, black women, blue women, all love
British
Idris Elba.
accent and his height and all of that. If he said it. Oh, now it's a thing. Girl, Idris telling me that I look nice today. Now it's it's conversation. But I'm in human resources because I'm sexually harassing somebody because I don't look the part when it comes to being able to compliment a woman. So, I mean, there's so much involved with that conversation. And I think it'll be a very, very enlightening conversation. And it'll upset some folks, but that's okay.
Well, whenever LJ's forehead starts sweating, I know he has like a personal investment in the topic. So I will say that I can tell it's going to be great because even his nose is starting to sweat a little bit. But the other thing I was going to say, and it's regarding social media because I want to touch on that a little bit because everybody has some and access to it and has heard about it. But like when somebody will post a picture of their kid and they're like, oh, she's beautiful, going to the prom or whatever. Oh, she's beautiful. So all the women are like, oh my God. And like some of the men are like, oh, beautiful or whatever. Let somebody post one of their sons and watch these women. It don't be like, well, if I was 20 years younger. And none of the dudes say that about one of these women's
He's
daughters.
A pervert. He's a pedophile.
Man, I was with some woman. I mean, I kind of was guilty too because I was like, well, shoot, I didn't know you had sons this dapper. Like, it's just like women think they can just say whatever they want to and it's a compliment. Like, it does not matter what it is. Like, we think, you show me a picture of your high school son in his, football uniform or whatever, or baseball uniform, and some woman says something like, oh, he been working out, your son been working out, your 19-year-old son been working out, your son 55. I mean, it's just like, okay, but if a man said that about some girl in her cheerleading outfit, like, oh, look at them legs, y'all would burn the whole internet down. The internet would die.
They would want him exiled. Exile him from social media.
How do we get away with that, women? Like, how do we get away with just like, objectifying?
Women can get away with a lot.
Yeah, he looked like a grown man, but he's 19, y'all. So how do we get away with that? But then if a man says something about your cheerleading daughter, or your daughter with her leg extended in the dance pose, and y'all ready to sue America and burn it down. So I'm just wondering, I'm looking you in the eye right now. But that is like the craziest thing. I watch that play out, and I'm just like, this is okay. Like,
but it's the double standards between men.
We get away with a lot.
Women get away with a lot.
We do, and when we probably pretend we ain't trying to get away with it.
Right. They'll pretend they're not trying to get away with it, but women get away with a whole lot. Whereas men get charged as being, perverts, over sexualized, pedophiles, all this other kind of stuff. If we even say anything, or if we even hint towards
or don't even look at me like that.
Exactly. So and that's a great point, because I've seen that. Oh, girl, your son's so fine, and he only 17.
He only 5.
Well, let me say that.
He gonna be so fine when he grow up 25 years.
Your daughter look nice, real nice. Then it's a
your
problem.
daughter thick.
Right. Your daughter got some thick legs. Then it's a problem.
She get that from her mama.
Right. Why you looking at my daughter?
Block and unfriend.
Exactly. And then you want to report me to Facebook.
I'm telling you.
So it's the double standards between men and between women, and I think that's going to be that's something we definitely need to discuss. But we're going to discuss, like I said, a lot of things. So
we kind of did today. I'm kind of feeling like we did 17 shows already. But so yesterday, because I just thought of this, but so I'm at a restaurant. Like when y'all start sponsoring me, I'll say your name. But for now, I'm not even going to allude to what I bought because it's not even worth. But so I just wasted that 3 seconds. But that could have been your 3 seconds. I could have said your name. Okay, so you should just like sponsor us. But anyway, I'm at the place. you know, you expect certain things with your french fries, like ketchup. Like ketchup, America, ketchup, okay? Like back when I was a kid, y'all used to put 17 ketchups in the bag, whether I was getting y'all would even put an extra like hash brown in the fries. I don't even know how that happened, but stuff was in the bag that needed to be in the bag. Nobody had to ask for nothing. I pull up to the window. First of all, she don't even remind me how much the cost. So then I'm like, well, how much was it? Because I want to make sure she has my order right, because it's one of those 2 drive-through things. And in the past, I paid for some orders that wasn't my orders. And then I get up to the window and I'm getting like a filet of fish with no tartar sauce and some BS. And I'm like, I ordered a quarter. But anyway, okay, it ain't McDonald's, so it ain't y'all. So don't think it's y'all. I'm just saying that happened at McDonald's a long time ago. But if McDonald's, y'all want to sponsor the show, I'm cool with it. But anyway, my point is, okay,
McDonald's
so
Corporation, not the franchisees.
right. You guys are hiring these people who aren't following the policy book. So I'm pulling up to the window, y'all. I'm ready to pay her, but I need her to, I'm feeling like she should speak first. Like, it's blah, 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 please, and hello, or whatever. And so I'm like, are you gonna ask me, tell me how much it is? And she's like, oh no, do you want a receipt? And I'm like, yes, absolutely. You run my card. Now I do. I didn't, but now I do. Get that. Go to the next window. Not even a hi. Can you pull up over there? Cause we waiting on blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what, I'm driving through the park? Like, how does that even work?
I should have just got out.
Drive through the park. She brings out my pancakes or whatever it was, because you can get breakfast all day at some of these places along with other stuff. So bring out my pancakes. I'm expecting syrup. Ain't got it. Bring out fries. Ain't got no ketchup. I'm like, had to drive back around in the drive-through. Like, hey, I was just here. You know, I didn't want to get out the first time, which is why I drove through. Driving through again to save time that I just wasted. Kind of hoping I can get some ketchup, you know. And she's like, well, did you ask for any?
Shouldn't have to.
It took me all of what I had to not park the car in the drive-thru at the speaker, walk around to the window, punch the window out, and go to jail for this girl. But I thought, I can't do that. I have to work tomorrow. So I didn't do it. And I got to record a podcast. So I didn't do it. So for the greater good of frickin' America, I ain't kill this chick. But what I'm saying is, y'all be putting people and we gonna catch a case if y'all don't start doing basic things that are required of you that your handbook said you should do. Not that, you know, I'm better than you because I'm the one buying the food from you and you're taking the order, but because your handbook said it should be done. People should know how much they're supposed to pay you. People should expect ketchup with their fries. If I don't and I come back, I'm not being a B word because I'm asking for what I thought I should have had in the first place.
They'll think you are.
Right. Because, you know, it's like putting you on blast or on Front Street because you forgot. I mean, it could be a much shorter conversation. You just say, yes, please pull around. That's it. Like, it could be done. But y'all want to make it seem like I was supposed to think to ask for it before I got to the window where I physically saw a human. But the only reason I forgot was because they didn't even say hi. They told me to pull up to that parking space way over there where they forgot me the one time. Okay, see, now I'm just having post-traumatic stress. Breathe, Tina. Okay, so, but my point is, we're going to talk about customer service because I just can't.
We need to.
In every industry.
But listen to this, though.
Every industry. If you got a business, you too.
Listen to this one, though.
Uh-oh.
So I'm
he gonna start doing this.
No, I'm not. I'm gonna keep calm. But it's an amazing story. It's real life. It's a true event. I pulled up into a chicken place.
A chicken place.
Not the nice one where the people are always nice.
Oh,
we know which one
where
that
they hang
is.
out the window.
Yeah, where they say, you know, my pleasure. To serve you, and can I throw this away for you?
Meanwhile, they go home and beat their whole family.
Right.
Like, I hate you guys, but I'm going to work and I'm going to be happy.
But,
okay, go ahead, though.
This is a different chicken place than the nice one. So I don't like doing drive-throughs. I like to walk in and see them preparing the food if I ever, you know, visit one of these establishments.
You're trying to see the hot chicks.
And so, or that, who knows? Because a lot of hot girls do work at chicken places.
Chicken place.
I walk in and I order my meal, and it's like a combo meal that, you know, consisted of chicken because this is biscuits. A chicken place. And so after I get out, I want a number 5. I'm told at that time, we don't have any chicken.
Oh my God, that's me at Pizza Hut 2 years ago.
So I'm like,
cried.
but it's a chicken establishment. So I was amazed, like, am I at the nexus of the universe where everything is backwards? Like, what's going on?
Yes,
because
yes.
It's your sign says so-and-so chicken.
Oh my God.
And you don't have the main thing that your sign promotes you having.
It's in the name of your business. It's blah, blah, blah chicken, but you ain't got none.
I would expect you not to have maybe fries or maybe something secondary on your menu.
Or those mean greens y'all be advertising.
You ran out of okra or whatever, but you can't.
Or wedges, potato wedges. I get it.
You can't run out of chicken. You can't. I went to the same establishment. I said I wanted a chicken sandwich with cheese. We don't sell cheese.
Oh.
What establishment doesn't sell, I don't know if cheese is a condiment or what, but You mean you don't even have a pack of cheese to whereas if a customer wanted a piece of it, you could just slap that onto the chicken sandwich? It's like, who's telling you, who's giving you the idea that not having cheese is the right thing to do? Who's giving you the idea that running out of chicken, or if I say I want some chicken tenders, well, they all froze?
No, it's going to be 25 minutes for those.
Right. Why are
Can
the
you
chicken
pull
tenders?
around? Can you go home and come back?
Why are the chicken tenders frozen? Like your last batch of chicken tenders,
God.
you should have knew that you needed to unthaw or
They're on the
cook.
menu, y'all.
Right,
Y'all open
they're
till
on the
11, but it's
menu.
5 o'clock. But because y'all don't want to dirty up the fryer,
You know,
y'all ain't got none.
there's so much that goes on to this.
It's a lot.
I hate going to certain,
Yes.
establishments,
Ooh.
and you know it. Like,
Unless you sponsor us, then we'll love it.
when I'm with my son, and I'll say, watch this, I'm gonna order an ice cream cone. Their machine's gonna be broken.
Oh, every time.
9 times out of 10, but I'm gonna order it anyway,
Yes.
based on hope and faith.
Because they do that, that's their business, and you assume
and
they
I'm
do it.
actually surprised when they'll say, "Oh, it's only $1."
Every time.
It's like, wow, your machine isn't broken.
Every time.
But every time the machine's broken. So yeah, we'll talk about
It's a
customer
shock
service.
every time. Oh, and so like I don't know if you guys have in your town or wherever you are at, because I'm assuming the whole nation is listening to this, not just my mom.
Will be.
Not just my mom and my sister, but and my husband or kids. But do you guys have in your town where grocery stores, you call ahead, you place the order online, you pick it up, and it's supposed to be ready? Okay, so I have to tell you guys about the time that didn't happen to me. And not only did it not happen, they actually blamed me because I ordered my stuff on a holiday. Now it was November 3rd. The holiday was going to be Thanksgiving, and she was referring to it because I was like, "What is it? Flag Day, Arbor Day?" She was like, "No, it's Thanksgiving," and that's why I'm like, "No." What? So my stuff isn't ready. Like, it's supposed to be ready an hour ago for you to wheel out here, put in my car. The time I took to pick everything online, I'm paying you an extra $5. It's not ready. She's like, "Yeah, it's a holiday. It's too busy. I'm sorry." And yeah, I got to tell you guys about that. I actually made a video about it because I sat there in disbelief as this woman tried to tell me that the reason that my groceries weren't ready after I had sat there for a whole half an hour and watched the first attendant walk out and have car sex with somebody. I just thought she was off. I thought she was on a break. She was the one who was supposed to be getting my stuff together, but she was out there giving head in the car. But anyway, my point is that you guys can't be advertising one thing and then say you're better than someone else at it. If Boger says they're better than Walmart, y'all can't be not better than them all the time. Like, you can't pick which days you're going to be good at what you advertise. So I'm going to need you guys to be consistent. When you're wrong, admit it. And I resolved the situation and got gift card, got everything. The lady thought I was going to kill her, so she didn't bring my groceries to my house like she thought I was, because when I was on my live video, I said I was going to sick my dog on her. And I'm really sorry. I ain't got a dog. But my point was I was mad. So I was like, well, when you come here, you don't come correct, you going to die. And police, I didn't mean it. I know it was a thing. She didn't press charges. But anyway, it pushes people to emotional boundaries that they wouldn't otherwise cross, say things they don't mean. And this is why people get hurt. So people in positions of customer service, like when you are directly in line with the customer, regardless of what your company is, at fault for or hasn't done, you need to handle yourselves. You need to conduct your interaction with the customer the way you would want to be conducted with if you were the customer. That's all I'm going to say about that. You can't be arguing back and forth and blaming them for stuff, and because you don't know who got a gun and
Right. Just because
you don't know who
a bad
packing
day.
heat. So I'm gonna need you to not reiterate what the rights of your rights are, because you don't want to die here in the parking lot. And so
Right.
just y'all gonna need to put a little more compassion into how you deal with people and stop trying to be right. Like, sometimes people are just frustrated. You need to be able to hear where they're
Customer
coming
service
from.
is a dying profession.
Yes, we need to do this customer
people
service
just
one, 'cause I
don't
just-
want to be nice to customers.
No, and
but you want
customers-
to work in that field.
But customers, y'all could put y'all phone down. Y'all ain't got to be on the phone when y'all know y'all next in line. Like, that's annoying to everybody around you. And then we want you to hurry up because we know if you get help faster, we get help faster. But you on your phone and you yelling at your kids because they've been trying to talk to you for the last 5 minutes, but you was on your phone and you didn't hear. So then you start beating them in the line. And ain't nobody got time for your abuse and your anger and your bipolar and your conversation with your man who ain't really no man who you gonna see on the weekend. And gonna need you to
talk about
focus.
that, too.
So you got to be a good customer too, and you got to think about the people around you. So at the DMV, at the library, at the post office, and the grocery store, in traffic, which we'll talk about. Also, people, y'all driving, but I see y'all looking sideways when y'all in front of me, and the people behind me, I'm gonna need y'all to stop texting. People on the freeway, stop texting and driving. I see you. I can do it because I'm good at it. But you need to pick your phone up, put your phone down.
You
Just
shouldn't
kidding, I don't
do
really
it,
do it,
even if you think you're good at it.
No one's good at
you
driving and texting because you're all gonna.
Shouldn't do
You
it.
shouldn't do it. So our show is not saying pick up your phone if you're good at it. We're saying don't ever do it.
And if
And
you're in
focus
line-
on the road, y'all.
If you're in line at a place that says that they have served billions and billions of people,
Yes.
you included over maybe 1,000 times.
Right. Right.
Know what you want
yeah.
when it's your shot. You getting up there saying, that's just, that annoys.
Can I
Because it's customer service etiquette, and then there's customer etiquette. Know what you want prior to getting up there.
Now about you, boo.
Stop looking down at your little dirty kids talking about what y'all want. You should already know what you want.
Right.
You should already know what your kids want.
Yeah.
But I also...
And have enough money.
This is a segue. I heard you mention The Weeknd, which reminded me of a topic I wanted to discuss.
I know, I remember.
As far as the young lady that sings that song and the other song. And we talk about side chick and polyamorous relationships and just different things like that. So I really want to discuss that because for some god-awful strange reason, people still ask the question, why do men have side chicks? Or why do women have side pieces and all of that other kind of stuff? So I actually want to have that conversation, and I hope that we maybe can get a guest in here that actually says, hey, I'm a proud side piece
and
or
hopefully
side
we have video
chick,
that day so
or whatever.
she ain't sitting like in like a black cloak.
Right, you know.
Like, someone who actually doesn't mind seeing, you know.
But especially in our community, when I say our, I mean black. When in the black community,
and brown,
like
beige, anything, anything
of
off-white
color,
and down.
That it's becoming a proud thing to be proud to be a side chick or proud to be the other woman or proud to, like back in the day there was some type of hidden type of reserve involved with that type of extramarital relationship.
Well, it's still a secret on the man's part. Like he's still keeping it a secret.
But they out there. I mean, they got reality shows, the side chicks of Houston, and all of this other kind of stuff. And it's like a proud thing to be. So we really need to talk about that because now the music is that's some of the most famous music and some of the most famous television shows. It's all promoting that.
If we're gonna talk about the music, when did the P word, referring to a woman's body part, just become as common as, like, I don't even know why we're busting it wide open in a song. I don't even know why we're popping it in a hand. Like, why are we even talking about that?
But I promise you
can't edit it. Y'all don't edit right. Like, y'all will forget a 5-letter word, right? 2 syllables maybe max. 2 syllables, these words, these vulgarities. Can y'all edit the whole word? It's like a 1 second bleep if you would just do it, but y'all want to edit like the middle the silent E in the thing. And then so you hear the whole word. People want to actually drive in the car, maybe enjoy music that isn't all, okay, so we know what the song is about, but then we don't always need to hear like exactly like the whole vulgar. We get it, you in love and y'all want to be together alone. But do we have to hear how you want to beat the thing up and throw it in the trash and get it back out and run over with the car and saying it and forgetting to edit it? Like, do we have to?
But women will be dancing to it.
Women will be dancing.
They'll swear to God they're not dancing for a man's attention.
True. Right.
But they'll be dancing to it and busting it wide open, I guess, for themselves and each other.
And real quick before we go, dancing. Now, y'all booties ain't got to be like hyped up all the time every time some song comes on. Like, it's not, like, there's more to dancing than the one body part. So I'm going to need y'all to put y'all back into it, too, and just figure out how to get back to dancing normal, because I can't with this twerking.
And please stop line dancing. That's not even a show. That's not a show, but just stop doing it.
No, stop making the ones that last 8 minutes.
I'll go to an event or a club or something.
Me, last night, 2 times.
And it's like the DJ will start one shuffle, Hollywood shuffle, whatever they call those shuffles, and then they'll play the next one.
I hate the wobble. I'm sorry, people who made that song.
No man should be doing the wobble.
Oh, there was plenty of men doing it yesterday.
I don't care who you are. I don't care what you profess your sexuality or orientation to be.
Don't wobble.
No man should be doing the wobble.
Don't do it. And don't ask me to do it, because I don't like that
But I
dance.
hate those hustles. It's not a show, not something we're going to talk about in the future.
Right.
Just stop doing it. And DJ, stop playing. Like, if you play one hustle song,
hands
okay. But
going.
don't play like 8.
Yeah.
Like, we don't need every Cupid
That's
shuffle.
just people who can't dance do it, and you need people
Right,
up there, and
it's
you
like,
feel better
just
when people are on the floor.
please
But it
stop.
ain't worth it for the rest of us. So I'm so glad you guys were able to tune into our first show that's not a show about the show we're going to have that doesn't have a theme song that we need one for. My name is Tina. I'm so glad you were here. I'm here with LJ. He's going to thank you guys for coming, and then we're going to sign out. So LJ, what do you got to say to people?
Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you all for listening and watching. Like I said, it's going to be a great show. I'm definitely happy to be doing this with Tina. I am LJ. You are tuned in to T.A.M.I. And we promise you a great podcast. Just stay tuned.
I ain't promised.
Keep listening.
I'm commitment phobic.
Keep supporting.
what you
Send
get.
us those jingles and theme songs. Sponsors, send us that cash.
Man, you can just text me.
Right, you can just text Tina.
You can just sponsor one of us.
But it's gonna be a great show. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Well, thank you to our producers and studio owners. We have Eric and we have Big D Daryl.
calling him that.
And you don't. I hope you don't call him that. Okay.
not going
No,
to.
if you call him that, I'm quitting the show. So don't call him that. Call him Daryl. So we're gonna leave. We're gonna go enjoy the rest of our day, and wherever you're at, I hope you enjoy yours, your family, and your 3-day weekend. If you have it by the time the show airs, it'll probably be Easter, so we won't be talking about that. But enjoy the rest of your day and each other, and we'll see you later. This is T.aM.I with Tina and LJ, and we want you to have a great day.
Peace.
Bye.